Welcome to today's Daily Awesome, the podcast, which is for men, talking about men's excellence, which is really cool. And we're all part of a big community that I want you to be a part of. But first, let's talk about what we're going to talk about. What happens when you're having a shitty day and everything's fucked and what you can learn from it? This is something that happens to me quite often, or has happened to me a lot in my life. And they've truly been some of the best lessons that I've learned from it. Now, I actually want to talk about it tonight. And we're on our call, our men's development excellence call. It's almost midnight here in Austin, Texas. It's April 19th. But the thing is that this was one of those times where I kind of lost my shit. It was a bad day, bad mood, all this different stuff. And kind of the process of what happens and the many different bad days I've had and what we actually talk about on the call and how this takes us away from who we are, our excellence, our power, our choice, all the different things which give us so much value that get occupied and actually, totally bound up by our resentments, our confusion, and our anxiety that totally infects our lives. So we're going to talk about that today. Now, what I want to talk to you about is the podcast. Guys, subscribe to it. If you're on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, you can go to a page which is listed down below. There's a little link which probably says bit.ly AMD awesome, whatever the number is for this. But the thing is that click that because there you can find out about our free membership groups, which is the Austin Men's Development Facebook group. You can go on there. You can post stuff. Guys are posting all day long. You got a lot of great coaches on there, including myself, who we're on there a lot. But if you want to step it up, you can join our membership. That's what we want to build. And of course, download in the month of April, we have The Way of the Sexual Man. It's a great PDF. It covers 5 things that you can do right now, today, to get in touch with who you are, your intention, what you want. And sex isn't just about this cheap thing. It's about this expression. It's about what you were born with as a man and what that means. We hear a lot about this masculinity stuff, but I don't see a lot of men actually being men who jabber on about it. That all being said, let's get into this real stuff. So what I want to talk about is what happens when we hit a point of confusion. What happens when we hit a point where we don't know what to do next. We're having a bad day. We're frustrated. We're in this mode of chaos. And I've had a lot of those days, especially being a recovery guy and involved in different drug addiction stuff and different 12-step groups and so on. And those are definitely, some people don't like that and they're not for it, which is totally cool. But some people have benefited from it and so on. But one of the things that I get from that is a lot of people have a lot of problems. Okay. And for me in my journey with that, I also had a lot of problems. And what happened on Monday, the day after Easter, had a great day with my family, had a lot of good stuff, had a roof over my head, had an amazing meal, had plenty of time with the kids, had plenty of time with my wife. We watched movies. We did all these things that we wanted to do. But for some reason, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed on Monday. And one thing pissed me off about her. Another thing pissed me off about a business thing. Another thing pissed me off about something that I was trying to do. And all of a sudden I got through the day and I was angry in every moment that I had. Now I've had so many days like this where there's real problems. Like Monday, it wasn't too bad, but I was stuck in this mode of chaos and confusion. I was stuck in this mode of control. I was stuck in this mode of blame. I was stuck in this mode of resentment. I was stuck in this mode of contempt. And it went into all different things. And whenever I have that, and I've had a few of those back to back in a daytime, I kind of stop myself. I get in that frozen lake syndrome, or frozen lake mode, where I stop where I'm at and I got to reverse my steps. Now, this doesn't solve the problem. I'll tell you this. I went throughout the day, man. More shit pissed me off. I had run-ins in business of things that I didn't expect to happen that did happen that pissed me off. I had things that happened in terms of money, which I should be grateful for, because I've had days where I haven't had money. I've had long periods of time where I haven't had, a nice roof over my head or meals to eat and those things. But it got to a point where I got really mad about those things in front of me. And there were a lot, man. There were a lot. I put them down on paper and they're bizarre and they're weird. And I haven't had this, succession of like about 5 just bizarre, crazy things happen in one day. And I was pissed off. I was pissed, man. Everything was pissing me off. The guys that were involved were pissing me off. My wife, when she would talk to me, was pissing me off. My kids, when they, were asking for something, which they always do, were pissing me off. Everything was pissing me off. And what it came down to was like, I needed to go through the steps of saying, you know what? I need to stop. I need to chill out. And what this actually took me, I recognized it early on, but this actually took me towards the end of the night, about 10 p.m., where I started to chill out. And here's one of the things. When I don't know what to do, I take actions on what I can do. We talked about this in the podcast about what do you do when you're depressed. You take certain actions and different protocols of what you can do. Pick up the phone, talk to somebody, be of service, interact with people. These are all very beneficial things. When I am angry and in resentment and I notice that I have 3 or 4 things that are pissing me off, and when big things or small things turn into panic mode or whatever that are high anxiety things in my life, I need to resort to these things. Now, when I can start doing stuff like that, like being of service, taking action, writing, working, getting the bare minimum of my work done, suiting up and showing up, being able to, again, as I said before, be of service and share with other people and get out of myself, I start to notice something. And I start to have faith in a process because I've done it so many times that when I don't have choice, when I do not have these things, and when I'm trying to control, when I'm blaming, when I'm categorizing things, when I'm labeling things, when I'm justifying things, all of this is serving confusion. All of this is serving because I don't know the outcome of this, or my expectations aren't being reached, or I don't understand the feelings going on inside of my body and in my mind about the situations that are happening. I have things in my life that I am powerless over or out of control with, so by default, I react in rebellion, I react in erratic behavior, I react in labeling, I react in blaming, and all these different things. All of those things take away from every single thing that I value. If I am caught up in blame, if I am caught up in judgment, if I am caught up in something outside of myself, like another person, their idea, their action, even their action that they did to me, and I don't accept the responsibility for it for myself, and I don't own my life, then guess what? I have now turned over my choice, my decision, my ability to be spiritual, my ability to, express who I am, my ability for self-reflection, my ability for my mind to be clear, and I've turned it over to that. See, here's the thing. Whenever you have a problem in your life, and whenever I have a problem in my life, and as you hear, I get swept up in it. I get caught up in the same shit, but it's always my job to fix it. If there is a problem that has come into my life, no matter how bad it is somebody else's fault, no matter how bad they've wronged me, no matter how bad they've fucked up, and I've had days where people have truly done that, it is my job to fix it. It is my problem. If I got screwed over by a woman, if I got hurt, if I got money stolen from me, if I got hit, if I have an injury, if I lose something very valuable to me that somebody else took away from me, it is my problem. And it is my problem now to bear that burden and to solve. And when I do solve it, it makes me a better person. And why? Because it allows me to have choice. It allows me to have perspective. It allows me to have the things that I value in me and who I am when the pressure's on. And literally, those are the most important things in my life. Every time, and I remember, just on Monday where I was like, man, this is a fucked up day. I'm having a bad day. I know it's going to pass. And you know what? Nothing really bad happened. Just some really weird, confusing stuff and fucked up people and just odd situations happened that blocked what I wanted to do. And it pissed me off. And it just made me want to control it more. And I know tomorrow that I'll probably have some resolution towards it. And the problem's me. Okay, the problem's probably my filter. But goddamn, man, I hear these people over and over again go on about what is wrong with the world, what is wrong with your life, what is wrong with why you don't have what you want, what is wrong with something blocking you in the way. Fuck, man. I don't give a shit. I get it if you're in some imprisoned society or country or whatever, but if you live in America, if you're watching this, if you're able to absorb this information, if you're able to have the freedom to go out and buy a Starbucks coffee, if you're able to go out and have the choice to work, if you have the choice to change something in your life, man, you have to stop complaining. You have to quit that shit. That is killing you. That is taking everything that is valuable about you that you're saying that is repressed and turning it over to whatever it is that you've made up in your head that's fucking you. And maybe it is fucking you. Maybe it did fuck you. But man, guess what? Life fucks you. Life is suffering. Part of the beauty about life is going against the stream. Not because you're rebellious, not because you're fighting for the cause, but because in that moment, in that pursuit of living life and forging ahead through your true desires, your ambitions, what you want, who you are, your expression of who you are. when you stop bitching about whoever's holding back who you are, what that is, and blaming that shit, and you pursue that even when the stream is going against you, you get to know what that really is. Fuck, man. There's so many different things that I wanted to be in my life that never happened, but I pursued them. And in the pursuit of that, I came to a sense of pride, a sense of self, an ability to love, an ability to find the beauty in so many different things, and able to own, and able to experience, and most importantly, the ability that I had on Monday to be able to say, man, I'm a little fucked up now, but I have faith that things will work out. Part of the things that we do and talk about here, which sadly I see is so different from a lot of the different self-development, is you go on your own path. You talk how you talk. You experience how you experience. But if you want to pursue that excellence, that form of you that can be your best self, that you know that's there, and you want to be held accountable to that, you will be. You get to write your own road. You have a true sense of freedom. You don't need us to hold your hand and tell you who to be, but I guarantee you will need a group of men to be able to stand next to you when you are confused, when you don't know what to do, when you're experiencing something new and you need to hear from other people who've experienced it and come out on the other end. And that's what we do. So if you like this, you like being a part of it, man, hit the subscribe buttons wherever you're watching or listening to this. Give it whatever ratings you want, even if you don't like it. But most importantly, get involved with our free group, the Austin Men's Development Board. And if you want to step it up and be a part of the calls and interact with us and talk to not only myself, but probably better coaches on here, and there's a lot, man, who can influence and impact your life. Sign up on the Men's Development Excellence membership. You get that all squared away. In any case, this is the Daily Awesome. We're recording this Wednesday night on our content call. Man, I love doing this. I love doing this. We're 4 hours into this call. It's fucking badass. And I can't wait to hear more of the guys. So I'm going to sign off of this and sign back onto that. And we'll talk to you guys later.